Hey there, welcome back to the Greater You. Good to see you guys today. So we're diving into one of the 7 areas of wellness today. Uh, Went back and looking through some posts and working on a blog post around this. This is a pretty important topic that I think often gets neglected. There's some taboo around it in today's society, especially here in America. But in various regions of the world, there might be different things going on around spirituality and religion. I think we see generally, in my experience of being in the helping industry since the late 90s, I've definitely seen a shift, right? We see people moving towards spirituality or kind of moving away from all things spiritual and religious. A lot of kind of agnosticism and there's a lot of people that are just a bit more science minded now and less spiritually minded. And I think there's a lot of reasons for a lot of these things. However, we found, as one of the 7 areas of well-being, along with the other things like your physical well-being and the way you manage your wealth and your social relationships and even the service opportunities that we take, lots of those different areas they're all really good and they all need that balance. This one can serve to bring hope into people's lives and more peace. So when we're thinking about spiritual development, there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. And here's a few tips that we have found that are helpful for people. And the goal with this, when we're looking at this with our clients and with people generally, this is not trying to be obtrusive, intrusive. We're not trying to make people super uncomfortable here or make them feel like someone's preaching to you or something. It's more to consider, hey, how are you doing in your own kind of spiritual well-being, and how would you like to define that? If you've lived a life where you're kind of agnostic or purely science-minded, which all of those things I totally understand, and I'm a huge consumer of science myself, all types of science, and it is a great way to find a lot of facts and to push our knowledge and understanding forward. But the spirituality thing is also a way. It's something to think about. Something as simple as connecting with nature, right? Taking a walk. I was just reading a study earlier today where they were discussing the idea that they're recommending 20 minutes of outside time 3 days a week, because so many of us are glued to our screens. We're forgetting to do that or neglecting nature, right? They were suggesting 20 hours over the course of something like a month of getting out, and 2 full days that we should unplug every single year and go out into the wilderness. I mean, how are you going to really test all of that, right? But it was an interesting article on really nature deprivation. So connecting with nature can really help with that spiritual development. There's a sense of awe we can experience if you're looking at something beautiful, walking in a forest or a beautiful hiking trail, gazing over the edge of the Grand Canyon or something miraculous like that, walking up the side of Mount Fuji, whatever it is on the various places on this planet you can go. There's a lot of places that you can connect with nature that will help you feel that sense of awe. And it has like a grounding effect to the mind and the body and the soul. So that's a relatively, unobtuse way to connect into a spiritual center. We're not really, this is not something where you're having to go and explore your neighbor's church or something like that. So for some people, that connection with nature is massive. I certainly feel a lot of connection with something higher than myself when I'm in nature as well, and take regular dips into nature. So I highly recommend it. I even do trail chat with clients. I've done hikes with clients. I've gone on many a walk with clients. I've certainly even gone mountain biking, and I've even gone snowboarding with clients, meeting up on the mountain. You chat while you're on the lift about life goals and everything else. And then you go and experience, sliding down the mountain together. So there's lots of ways to do that. Practicing mindfulness is a huge boon to the spiritual development of the individual that is also not super taxing into our lives and certainly augments our health and well-being. Practicing mindfulness in this world of distractions, it's getting still, shutting off. We're not staring at a screen when we're doing mindfulness. We want to have, maybe some peaceful music or nature sounds playing, and really focusing on your breath, focusing on the here and now, being in the moment, experiencing your senses in the moment. Combine those first two, going on a nature walk and sitting on a rock and being mindful, and you'll make, that experience of walking in nature much more than just getting to a destination, which guilty is charged. There are times when I'm hiking or whatever, I just want to get there. But if you take the time to stop and connect and practice some mindfulness, it'll be even more profound for you. Engaging in creative activities. This is powerful. Art, I've had many clients over the years that have used art and music to help them get through really tough times. I had one particular client that did oil on canvas for the first time in her life, painted a series of paintings as she was going through healing over some past difficulties. And it was so profoundly spiritual for her. And even for me, as I observed what she produced and created, it was so profound. So anything that allows our imagination to be engaged creatively can start to tap into some of those spiritual centers, certainly help us feel better, feel positive emotion, kind of tap into that PERMA model. So creativity is powerful. Meaningful relationships, right? This is more than just playing with your friends, right? Meaning like, going to the movies or whatever. Sure, that's great. But sometimes taking your relationships with someone close, your inner circle, to where you take some time to really hear each other out, talking about more heartfelt topics, feelings about love, feelings about loss, feelings about, grief and challenges, feelings about triumph, discussions about what's working for them and what they've learned from their life path so far. Yeah, you don't want to belabor your relationships and make them deep, deep soul searching discussions all the time. However, taking some time in those meaningful relationships to take a deeper dive can create a deeper connection that can give you both a boon to your spirituality and just sense of overall well-being. Seeking knowledge. This is a great place that you can dig around and find ways to improve upon and build your knowledge base in whatever topic you're interested in that can create life lessons, particularly, when you're, recently I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, for instance, and such a fascinating read because you're peering in to, someone who lived so long ago and how their worldview was. He was kind of a stoic in philosophy, and to hear the lessons that he learned from the experiences he went through as, the leader of a massive empire at that time. Very interesting stuff. So seeking knowledge. I heard a statistic today, I'm always listening to podcasts and reading articles. Heard a statistic today that, the average American only reads a couple of books a year. Well, I'm going to recommend gently and firmly that we up that number, folks. There are so many good books to be at least listened to on, Audible or some sort of, book reader, or to take the time to page turn it yourself or read it on a Kindle or whatever. Getting those books into your head will give you a chance to start challenging some of your thinking. It can help us challenge our biases. It can help us learn and obtain new knowledge and wisdom that can form better decision-making in our lives. That Seek Knowledge one, oh my goodness, every single one of us really, I recommend highly, should be doing that. Finding a subject you're passionate about and leaning into it, then taking it in classes or auditing a class at your local university or even community college, engaging in some online courses. Those are great. We've got online courses around on various topics that we'll be rolling out more and more of. We even have a life coach training course, a set of courses that will take you about a year, and you'll learn so much about yourself and others in that course. Find whatever way you can to seek knowledge. Use good discernment when you're doing it, because not all of the things that you're going to read are going to make sense or even apply to you or even be correct. But certainly it can get you thinking. And then finally, when we're talking about spiritual development, I think it would be a mistake to leave out this bottom one here. The study of world religions, spiritual systems, philosophical systems, belief systems, even just cultural systems, I think are a great way for all of us to connect to something bigger than ourselves, even if that connection is simply your brothers and sisters of the human race, right? We all bleed the same. It's been said many times, right? Who cares about the color of skin? We should actually be celebrating the differences and leaning into understanding the differences so that we can become more complete and whole in ourselves. The study of different systems and cultures and religions will give you a window into how people think differently than you. You might find yourself finding truth that you had totally missed by neglecting this area of study. I'm not suggesting that you have to go join a church or something. That is entirely your own individual journey. What I am suggesting is study this stuff out and remove the ignorance that many people harbor in their lives that leads to assumptions and false judgments based on media-driven half-truths and baloney, quite frankly, about certain systems and religions out there. As you do your own due diligence, go to the source material, right? If you want to learn about Taoism, go to their holy books. If you want to learn about Buddhism, go to their holy books. You want to learn about Christianity, go to their holy books and dig in for yourself and be your own judge of what's going on there. So these are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ideas here that can, we went from kind of the softer, more nature, floating in the woods to like hardcore study and seeking knowledge and even studying world religions. All of these to varying degrees can help you improve your own journey into spiritual well-being, an area of one of those 7 areas of wellness that we really see needs to be improved upon in all of our lives. So like this video if you like it. We'd love to hear your comments in the comment section. What are your thoughts? What have you found as you've done each of these or any of these? Dig in there. I'm not suggesting go in there and debate what's right and wrong. That's not the point of the comment section for this video. It's to tell us what you've experienced and what you'd like to experience and ask questions. Be curious, be kind, don't be cruel. Okay? Good to talk to you today. We'll talk to you soon, and we will be putting more videos out in coming days. Take care.